Hey everyone, so today I want to talk about Jupiter transiting through the 5th house. I'm still trying to get through this series. Like all Jupiter transits, this one is no different. This one can be really positive as well. Depending on what house system you use, some Jupiter transits can take longer than others. I use the equal house system just because that's the one that can fit to every chart regardless of where someone might be born, so I feel like it's the most accurate in that way. With a system like that, Jupiter can remain in a house for like 9 months, maybe up to a year, but it's usually about 9 months, give or take a few months. If you have a wider house, like if you use a Placidus house system, then Jupiter might stay in a house longer. And Jupiter expands our focus or our participation in that area of life when it transits through a house. And the 5th house, it's the house of risk, fun and games, romance, sex, children, our creativity, our self-expression, things like that, the things that we enjoy doing, sports, hobbies, any kind of like creative interests. So Jupiter transiting through this house then expands and enhances our participation and enjoyment of the things represented by that sign in our 5th house, because our 5th house already naturally shows what we like to do for fun. So say if Sagittarius rules your 5th house and Jupiter's transiting through there, so it's going to expand maybe your participation with travel. Maybe you're going to be traveling a lot more. If it's Virgo, it's expanding your participation with, your health, your routines, your organization. Maybe that feels more enjoyable for you to, think about structuring your life in a certain way or advancing your skills. If it's in Capricorn, there's more enjoyment through work or through advancing socially, things like that. So just think of what the sign represents and how that sign finds enjoyment through things. And Jupiter expands your participation in that. It kind of makes it so that we're actively pursuing those interests and those hobbies more. So because we're having more fun with that, there can also just be a greater sense of ease, more relaxation, more overall enjoyment. We can feel less stressed about things even, or feel more easygoing about things. We can also be dating more when Jupiter transits through the 5th house. And usually it's more casual relationships, but we can actually start a new romance when Jupiter transits through the 5th house. Now, whether or not that's going to be a romance that is long term, that's, to be said through other aspects that Jupiter might be making during this transit, or just in how the individual is natally, or maybe what the composite or synastry looks like for the couple. In general, we can start new romances and things with people. Sometimes it can be more casual relationships, but not always. But in general, when it comes to dating, it can feel like we have more options, and it can feel like dating can actually be kind of fun. Like it's more enjoyable because it's a more social transit, so we can feel like, romance, that excitement of new love and new possibilities, that can be very enjoyable during this transit. And because we're engaging more with the things that we enjoy, our creativity can shine more, and we can feel more creative in general and find more enjoyment through creative self-expression and feel more confident with our creative self-expression. There can be that social element because we're more focused on pursuing our interests and our hobbies. There can be this theme of kind of actually going out into the world more in pursuit of what we enjoy. The main potential downside to this transit is if there are already tendencies towards excess in the natal chart, just like any other Jupiter transit, especially if there are those tendencies and then Jupiter makes a hard aspect to either that personal planet that is already making an aspect to Jupiter, or Jupiter makes hard aspects to other planets in your natal chart. It can just exacerbate the tendency that we have towards excess. So we can be taking greater risks, spending more money, having more casual relationships without maybe thinking about the long-term effects of those relationships. And maybe doing things more for like an immediate gratification, like it could be things that we enjoy doing, but we might be doing it more for short-term pleasure rather than for long-term results. So I hope this video was helpful, and let me know what your experiences were like with Jupiter transiting through the 5th house. And thanks for watching. I will see you next time.